late. Hit that like button. I'm running late. The sun is blinding. Where's my light at? Make sure you hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Shit. I gotta stop. What up, y'all? I gotta find a lighter. Like immediately. Oh, there we go. Down. Alright, y'all, so if you didn't know, I joined ICE, y'all. That's the reason for the face mask. The reason for the face mask is that I joined ICE. I'm officially an ICE agent. Working border patrol. It's like no, though. Then we got a couple things to talk about, yo. While I'm on the way to this call, man. Nicki Minaj, Trump, and his Pooh. You know, a lot of people need that. You know, a lot of people need some things to just, you know, to be written on a wall for them to understand. Me, I don't really, you know. I be, man, niggas be lying. You feel me? A lot of them blogs, them niggas don't care about their viewers, man. They don't care what they share to their viewers. They don't care the information they don't mind pushing the lie. I would go on a limb and say they would rather push a lie. You know what I mean? They would rather push a lie to the people that support them, to the people that follow them. You know, because, you know, the lies always stretch further than the truth. And that whole Pooh Shiesty Gucci Mane situation, Gucci Mane, that's how you say it. That whole situation was fake. It was fake. It was so obvious it was fake because, like Byron said, and I agree, yo, Pooh Shiesty would have participated in something like that. You know how fast he'd have been in jail? Not checked in, but in jail. And see, this is the thing too, y'all. When you let people talk long enough, this nigga going fast as a bitch. Big ass truck. When you let people talk long enough, they reveal themselves, man. And when they talk too long, the stories start to change. You know, the stories start to change. Supposed to be video evidence. Then King AK start talking about it was a police officer there. Like they dramatizing the story even more. And ultimately you just get exposed as a lie. Ultimately you get exposed as a lie. And I think Pooh Shiesty is a part of this lie. So, like I told y'all before, what's up, cuz? I'm no longer a fan of Pooh Shiesty music. I think he's a clown and a fuckboy. Yo, whenever you gotta go above and beyond like that and trick the people to put your name in the algorithm, man, you a clown to me, man. I don't fuck what he ever did in the streets. He's a clown. He'll tell on a nigga. I think people that participate in plays will tell on niggas too. I think a street nigga that participate in the play will also snitch. I do believe that. I do believe that. Because Pooh Shiesty in on it. Pooh Shiesty in on the play. Most definitely. That's why ain't nobody from his side. That's why AK-47 was able to say what he said. I dare somebody from Pooh Shiesty's side to refute what I'm saying. Nobody's going to refute what he's saying because he's part of the play. They are part of the play. They on some clown ass shit for real. Y'all care too much about the people that listen to me and people that follow my page every day to get on here and push something that's false. Even if a person don't agree with what I say, I believe what I say. You feel me? I'm not just going up this bitch talking, trying to gather an audience together. No, I ain't doing that. I could never do that. I don't think we have to do that. But like, obviously some people do feel that way. So, Byron Blake, hold on, y'all. Am I connected to the wire? All right. So Byron Blake did a video today. And I really don't have too much to say about Nicki Minaj's situation other than I told y'all. I told y'all part of the reason why she decided to align herself with Trump and them is because of her beef with Rock Nation and the Democrats. Remember I told y'all that? If you go to Nicki Minaj's Twitter page right now, she going in on the Democrats. She going in on Jay-Z. Meanwhile, praising the Republicans. That was part of the reason, y'all. Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and the Democrats, whatever they doing to her behind closed doors, she felt like in order for her to, to even the playing field, she had to pick a side, and that's what she did. Whether people agree with it or disagree with it. I don't agree with any artists, picking a political party out in the open. I don't like it. I don't respect nothing about it. But it ain't about what we respect. I'm just telling y'all why she did it, because a lot of people was confused. She had two reasons, that we know of: immigration status and her beef with Rock Nation and the Democrats. The Rock Nation and the Democrats is tied in. They're like one and the same. But Byron Blake did a video earlier. Talk about Seti Dash.
Starting a business is never easy, but with GoDaddy Arrow, that endeavor is about to become
Man, come on, man.
a lot.
I'm mad late to work. Hit that like button, y'all. For the people that just came in, I got ski mask songs that joined Ice. Don't tell nobody though.
Call and crit, snitch. And it ain't got nothing to do with a personal dislike for King AK. It's just I know the game. I know.
And that's the thing. I be telling people, yo, when you know how these people, yo, they play a dirty game on this internet, yo. They don't care about the information that they put out. Yo, they don't care who it affects, who it hurts. All they worrying about is getting the views. They want their name in the blogs. Now, yo, major blog platforms, I guess what you would consider major blogs, shared this lie all over the internet. How many people gonna share the truth? Not many. So no matter how much people try to get the narrative correct as to what's really going on, most people is never gonna hear it because the truth don't spread as far as the lie. Like I said, this is real. This is a real thing, especially with this internet. Nobody cares about the truth when a lie is more entertaining. The lie is more entertaining, people want to believe that somehow, some way, Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci, took his ring, took his chain, whatever he took from him, and that was that. Yo, that don't even sound believable. Not saying that Gucci can't get robbed, because anybody can get robbed, but why would Pooh Shiesty, who just did 4 or 5 years in federal prison, come home and he still is basically classified as a federal inmate because he didn't even finish his whole sentence isn't finished until April 11th. Why would he do something so stupid Niggas not that dumb. There's some dumb niggas out here. You feel me? Yo, but nigga ain't that damn stupid. You talking about robbery, kidnapping, extortion. Man, you talking about counts that can put Pooh Shiesty in federal prison for 40 years. Like, come on, man. Niggas ain't that damn dumb, yo. I know it sounds believable because the music that he put out, but niggas ain't that fucking stupid. Nigga ain't that stupid, yo. Now, I talked to Byron Blake offline. You feel me? And he told me what's really going on. And people gonna see what's going on. And this whole contract dispute, it is a contract dispute, but not in the way that people think it is. It ain't about Pooh Shiesty leaving Gucci. Pooh Shiesty want to add somebody in on his deal, and I don't think Gucci is on that. But it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
How these things go, and I know that if the things that they said occurred had actually occurred, they wouldn't have been the first people to tell us about it, and there definitely would have been a paper trail. So today,
remember I said that. Who the fuck? Who's the who goes to Sadie Nash? Like, he made it like, the streets. Yo, the streets ain't going to no motherfucking Sadie Nash, man. Sadie Nash is a fucking a cornball civilian. That's perpetrating gang member online. Ain't no street shit running through Sadie Nash, I promise you. And it's no way. It's not happening. That nigga couldn't even bring Woody to his hood without getting backlash, nigga. Boys made you get online and apologize, nigga, for shaming the hood, nigga. Ain't nobody coming to you for no motherfucking talk about chain back. Nigga, fuck out of here. Think nigga stupid. They ain't get nobody chain back, yo. He can't get his chain back when I take his. He ain't gonna be able to get that back. Fuck you gonna get somebody else's chain back.
I'm gonna show y'all 100% proof that the things that they've been saying about Pooh Shiesty are false. I'm gonna show y'all how I reached this conclusion, and then I'm gonna leave it up to y'all to go hold them accountable for all of the stuff that they've been saying they'll do if this story is not true. You know, people putting it on their kids and all types of stuff.
That's sad.
Staying on topic, before we get to that part, I gotta run these clips back for y'all so y'all can see exactly what they said. Then I'm gonna chime in and break down what's really going on. Without wasting any more time, let's get to it.
So he got evicted, he got kicked out because he broke the contract with the freaking people.
Look, there they go, adding to the story. That is a telltale sign of a lie. Yo, the truth only gotta be told once, and the truth don't change. See, this is why, like I told you, I don't be needing paperwork a lot of times to see through a lot of this bullshit. All you gotta do is pay attention to how the story evolves. The truth only need to be told once, and you don't need to add nothing to the truth or take nothing away. The original story ain't have nothing to do with him being evicted. Nothing to do with it. They adding to the story for content purposes. For content purposes. These niggas about to start writing books or novels or, thrillers. You feel me? They about to start writing thriller books. Cause that's all they be online. That's all they be online doing is telling stories, telling tales. There's no real truth involved with these guys. There's no real truth in it. I mean, anybody can get robbed. I'm just saying, it just didn't happen. That wouldn't have been something that would have been able to be keep under wraps. If niggas basically Suge Knighted, if Pooh Shiesty and them did the Gucci, what Suge Knight did the Vanilla Ice, in 2025, 2026, man, that shit would have been all over the motherfucking place. Same day. You heard me. Video footage would have got released. It'd have been a whole situation. Niggas in Atlanta would have been upset. Man, that shit would have got crazy, man. That's how you know it's not real. It's not real. And Pooh Shiesty a fuckboy for participating in this bullshit. Because he participated. He participated. And it take it further, it just lets you know that these people don't care about their supporters. They don't care. Whenever you can push a lie like that, blatantly push a lie to your following, you don't give a fuck about the people, man. Yeah, you out, man. Fucking sun. I gotta get away from this sun. Shit, man. What's up, Sharice?
That own the spot. So everything else that's going on and all this shit, car repos, all that, I don't know. I have no idea about that. I'm gonna be fair, square, obvious, honest. That's the first time I ever heard about it. I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm not saying
King AK went off script. Yeah, man. Said his dad's like, oh shit, he fucking up the story. King AK went off script. You know, I told you these guys' imagination is amazing. Like some of them, they really need to write books. I think 1090 Jake would have been a great author of prison books, prison novels. Because these guys are great at telling stories, you know, to the ignorant. You know, they're great at telling stories to the ignorant people that believe it. But AK-47 went off script when he got to talking about his cars getting repossessed, which never made sense because Pooh Shiesty first video, he came home, he showed his cars. So you mean to tell me he was able to keep his cars the whole time he was incarcerated for 4 years and lost them when he came home? Like, logically, how much sense did that make? He was able to keep these cars for 4 years and lost them when he came home? Do that make sense? I don't think that make a lot of sense, yo, when you're thinking logic. If he was gonna lose them cars, he'd have lost them bitches in year 1 or 2 or 3. You ain't gonna lose them when you come home. Now, when you come back to the money, you're not gonna lose your cars. You're gonna lose your cars when the money stops. What's up, Shara? So that was a lie, a blatant lie that didn't make sense.
and that is true. I'm just saying, shit, I don't know nothing about that. I was never privy to that information. But I do know he got his ass kicked out of that goddamn house because he was doing too much. You got people over there that ain't supposed to be over there. You shooting music videos and all this crap, and there's people living there who ain't.
What the fuck? Yo, bitch. Police out this bitch got the street blocked off. They don't ever do that when I'm on the side of the road towing. Fuck. Yeah, but yeah, they do. I ain't lying. They do. Sometimes they do come and block for me.
Yeah, Pooh Shiesty gets basically evicted. You broke the terms of your lease. I mean, it's just that goddamn simple. So he had to basically go check in halfway home. So that is what it is on that.
And of course, King AK-47 echoed those sentiments.
Because you're not out there, D.
Remix your auto insurance with Intuit Credit Karma. We can queue up a personalized offer.
The house arrest thing. Put it not in. He's not. I mean, not the house arrest. The home. The halfway home.
You don't know what the fuck he talking
Y'all know
about.
why Pooh in the halfway home? Hey Pooh, I will quit my YouTube career if you come out and say I'm in the house.
Look, and he's able to say that because Pooh Shiesty is a part of the play. Pooh Shiesty is a bitch. I need everybody to understand that. You feel me? Pooh Shiesty should now be classified as a fuckboy for participating in this nonsense.
Body close to Pooh. He got evicted. Many of his cars have been repossessed. He didn't buy and own those cars. I think this is why we're seeing that a robbery took place. I think this is why we're seeing Pooh magically out the blue just posting a lot of promo on a lot of people's pages. The man posted like he broke and like he might fucking go to jail. The man posted Pooh out today. For what? You don't know this dude like that.
How the fuck do he know who Pooh Shiesty though? Like, how you gonna go out there like he posted Pooh out? You don't even know yo like that, nigga. You don't even know none of these niggas to even make that allegation, to make that claim. That nigga him and Moo could have been close as a motherfucker, man. You don't fucking know, man.
You're showing all the love you can. Why? You're posting small people. It's just crazy. And because if you're at the halfway house and you cannot live at the house, at the address that's reported, you have to go back until the people on the outside can get you another spot to where you can go to. Or you just go back and then you do the rest of your time. Because at the end of the day, you got evicted. If I'm lying, I'm flying.
Now, I want to start with breaking down this process to y'all. Yes, the Bureau of Prisons, BOP, must process formal paperwork to remove an individual from home confinement. In other words, hold on, let me finish. As it is a form of custody requiring administrative action to transfer them to supervised release or to terminate their sentence. So, in other words, if you are put on home confinement or released from home confinement, they have to do some paperwork.
Yo, it's paperwork involved in anything legal. Just y'all remember when Fonnie Willis tried to revoke Young Thug Barn? The first thing that came out was what? The paperwork. The letter to the judge. You can't do anything in the legal system without paperwork. It has to be a paper trail. And what Byron Blake is ready to explain is there's no paper trail saying that Pooh Shiesty got checked in. The United States Attorney would have to write a letter to the judge, basically like a revocation. You know, revoking certain privileges or rights. It has to be done in paper. There is no paper of any of this, which means it didn't happen. It means it's 100% chance that Pooh Shiesty did not get violated or get sent to the halfway house. That's 100% wrong, because there's no paperwork to prove it. So that's one lie that he just exposed.
Has to be a paper trail because that is an administrative thing. You don't just get halfway house just because, or house arrest just because. This also applies to violation procedures. If a person violates the terms of their home confinement, the BOP will move to revoke it, which requires documented
a revocation hearing. That's what that is. A revocation hearing is a revoking of certain rights and privileges, like home confinement. We're going to revoke it. Send his ass back.
Justification. In other words, they have to file some type of paperwork. There has to be a paper trail. If you look at Shiesty's docket, there has been no updates to his docket since December. The last thing filed in Shiesty's case was him requesting to have his conditions of supervised release amended so that he could travel for work purposes. Therein, the defendant requests the conditions of his supervised release be modified to allow for travel throughout the United States for work purposes, and also to allow for probation to recognize his status as a recording artist as being gainful employment. Defendant states this relief is warranted because he is a national recording artist whose
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
primary means of employment and income, revolve around him fulfilling the contractual obligations under his record deal. Now, the government will respond to this and say, hey, we don't have to amend the supervised release terms to include something saying that he's a recording artist and that that's an actual job, because we recognize that if he's doing what he's supposed to be doing as a recording artist, then that's a job. That's cool. As long as you are doing what you need to do to show us that you are putting in 30 hours a week, whether it's in the studio or however you're doing it, as long as you're showing us that you're working and you're making legitimate money, then we don't even have to modify the terms of your release at all. We just gonna recognize that as a job, and you keep doing what you're supposed to do, and everything will be fine. The real issue in this situation is that Shiesty has to get permission every time he wants to travel. He can't just get up and go and say, yeah, I'm going to work. He has to get permission every single time. And that's what this is really about, as far as getting permission to modify the conditions of his supervised release. But that's just a small portion of it. Of course, he want to be able to travel. They were saying that he couldn't travel at all, but the truth is he can travel. He just has to get permission every single time, and he won't freedom to just go whenever he want to go. But that's just one part. Also, in response to Shiesty saying he wants the conditions of his supervised release modified, the government also pointed out that the probation office says that it supports the government's position. They want Shiesty to keep asking permission every time he has to travel, because that is paramount to them being able to properly supervise him. Their ability to supervise him the right way is dependent upon him checking in and asking for permission every time he's going to travel. But there's another thing that they pointed out. They said that this is the probation office too, by the way. It's all on your screen. The probation office is saying they don't want to get involved in modifying or changing anything that has something to do with his supervised release until his supervised release actually starts.
And that's a good point. So when I came home on a box, right? Yo, your parole and probation don't start until you off the box. While you are on the box, you're still classified, and he's going to explain this. So that's a good thing about Bob and Blake videos. I don't like how how we review other people's shit. You got to really explain it, because they don't know what they be talking about. Bob and Blake explains it to the point where I don't even have to back it up, because he explains it properly. But your supervision, as far as parole and probation, don't start until after you off of home confinement. While you're on home confinement, you're still classified as being in custody, because you're still arrested. You still have to finish out your sentence. And what he ready to explain is that April 11th date that everybody is talking about, that's the date his sentence is over. So he's not going to be under parole and probation vision until after April 11th, because he's currently still in custody.
According to these documents, Shiesty is not set to actually start supervised release until April 11th of 2026, meaning that he is currently, right now, today, as we speak, still under the custody and supervision of the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Basically, the probation office is saying Shiesty is filing a motion asking us to modify the conditions of his supervised release, and his supervised release has not even started yet. So for everybody who was saying, he violated the terms of his supervised release, and that's why he on there, and it say April 11th, 2026, and all of that stuff. It actually says April 11th, 2026, because technically he has not even been released yet. He's on home confinement, but he's not on supervised release home confinement. He's on like a special release from prison home confinement. So
basically, y'all, when depending on the severity of the charge, I know this is how it is with the state, and the feds, I'm pretty sure it's the same. With the state of Maryland, you can get home monitor if the case is non-violent. You're eligible for home monitor 6 months before your release date. If the case is violent, like mine was, you're eligible for home monitor in 3 months of your release date. So that's what Byron Blake is explaining. The home monitor he's on is because of what? His release date. His release date is in April. So he was able to get home monitor probably within a 6-month time frame. Now, like I don't know if like how the state is with like as far as this federal and state. I don't know how they determine eligibility, but obviously he was able to get home monitor within 6 months of his release date, based off of whatever they base it off of. So he's currently still in custody.
Still actually in jail. He just in jail at home, if that makes sense to y'all. Look right here on your screen. Defendant's motion. It says probation has also represented to the court that it recommends denying defendant's motion, noting that defendant is currently still under the supervision of the Bureau of Prisons, and they will address defendant's supervision needs once supervised release actually commences, currently scheduled for April 11th, 2026.
Blue Chew Max, the ultimate power move from America's #1 chewable brand. We're talking fat.
So this is why when you look up Shiesty and you see release date 4/11/2026, RRM Dallas, this is why you see that. People are assuming, damn, he must have went back to jail if he got a release date because he been out. No, he's actually been on home confinement. He's moving around, but he's technically not released from BOP.
So RRM Dallas more than likely work with the Bureau of Prisons, and they're more than likely a private company that focus on electronic monitoring. That's how that shit works. It's private companies that work with the prisons that'll take on certain inmates and put them in their program if they fit the qualifications. That's what RRM Dallas is. It's not a halfway house. It's an electronic monitoring center that takes on certain inmates based on their qualifications to get into the program.
Basically what it is. His actual sentence will end April 11th, 2020.
God damn it. I was in the feds. You have to finish your time. Yeah, that's how it is in the state too. Probation and parole don't start until your time is finished. Now they can put you on a box too, if that's what they want to do, But it's not like a home confinement. It's just like an electronic monitoring. Make sure we know where you're going. But that's not the same box that Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty is on the box given through the Bureau of Prisons.
Real supervised released. Then that's when he get. So now let's revert back to this story about Gucci Mane getting robbed, because y'all basically on here telling us that Pooh Shiesty and his entourage held Gucci Mane and his entourage at gunpoint and robbed Gucci, all while Shiesty is under the supervision of the Bureau of Prisons. Y'all basically saying he just did this while basically still in custody. Now, the funny thing about this is Shiesty has on a home monitor. So if this off-duty officer that they claim was around and present and said he was telling the police actually did talk to the police and
remember this off-duty officer theory was another thing that they added on to the story. That wasn't a part of the original story. You always gotta remember, y'all, the truth don't need validation. I mean, it validates itself. You don't change the truth. The truth is only need to be told once. Whenever they start adding and taking away from the story, you know his lies being told. That's a telltale sign of a person lying. When you tell the truth, you tell the same story over and over and over again. You're not going to miss key details. You know, it might be small things that you might miss. But how did that not be a part of the first story? It was an off-duty officer there? That's major. That changed the whole dynamic of things. That's a whole nother charge. Yo, if this was real, yo, Pooh Shiesty would be facing about 100 years right now. That shit not real, man.
Anything along the lines of what they telling us, Shiesty would have been in jail the same day. They don't even have to go to the probation officer to get him locked back up. Y'all see what the probation officer said? We don't want to deal with him until his supervised release after.
That should be like a fucking stupid. Wait, connect this shit to the power. Yo, this sun is killing me. Y'all can't get away from the bitch. No matter which way I go, this motherfucker right there.
Deal with him. As of now, he's under the custody of the Bureau of Prisons, so we can't do nothing with him. So there would have been no parole officer called. There would have been no probation officer called. He would have been put back in a USP, a real prison facility. This also contradicts all the claims they saying about him being evicted. Because had he actually been evicted from the home that he was on home confinement in, then there would be a paper trail. There would be a motion to change residency filed by him if he knew because you don't just get violated and sent back to prison because you get evicted. Even though I personally don't believe that they are going to send you to a home. Somebody at Shiesty's caliber, the home you going to, the people, your people gotta own it, or you gotta own it. I don't think he would go to a home that he's renting out anyway. To think he got all that money and didn't buy some kind of house that he owns, his mama, his daddy, somebody, that's crazy. But yeah, there would be a paper trail of this. And there is no paper trail. Y'all don't gotta take my word. Go to Pacer. This is all you had to do in the first place. But these guys don't know the procedure for violating somebody's parole, for sending a person. They think the police can just pull up, pick you up, and take you back to the halfway house, and that's that. That's not how it works at all. So, you know, go. A lot of y'all bloggers, y'all got Pacer accounts. Y'all go look up all of these cases. Go look Shiesty up on Pacer and see if you see any type of motions to revoke home confinement, motions to change address, any of that type of stuff, because that's what he has. You see how he had to file a motion to request that they change his supervised release terms? He can't just go to the probation officer and say, hey, I want to be able to do. He has to actually get it on paper. These are my new terms. This is what I want to do. The probation officer is saying, man, we can't do nothing with dude until he actually get on parole. He ain't even on parole yet. He's still on home confinement from the BOP. So this is just a wild goose chase. I don't know where they got this information from about him being evicted and getting sent back to the halfway house and all of that stuff. I personally feel like they made it up.
Definitely made it up.
I'm hoping
They made up the whole
that
story.
this ain't the kind of play that I think it was, because that shows some real desperation, and that shows that these street rappers are getting a little more industry than they would like us to believe. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Do this make sense? I tried to get this out in a way where it would make sense to everybody. I don't really want to argue back and forth about who did what and who robbed who and all. I'm just saying, if any of these things had occurred, there would have to be a paper trail. Let's take the robbery out of it. If Shiesty had gotten evicted, like y'all saying, and he was taken back to the halfway house and all of this stuff that y'all saying, there would be a paper trail of it. There is none. And they not gonna wait 2 weeks for the paperwork to pop up or none of that shit. It's gonna pop right up as soon as it get filed. So y'all go to Pacer, look Shiesty up.
Like I said with Young Thug, paper when Fannie Willis tried to get him when Fannie Willis said he violated his bond conditions, what happened? Paperwork came out first. That's how we knew it was real. If Pooh Shiesty would have violated his conditions of not even release but home confinement, we would have got the paperwork would have came out first. These niggas wouldn't have had to tell no fucking elaborate story. We'd have seen the paperwork, and the story would have lined it up. But there's no paper, which means the story.
Tell me what y'all find, if y'all see anything. And let's see if any of these bloggers, because y'all know a lot of people watch me. My videos be having 2,000 views, but somehow I end up in a Trap Lord Ross clip. So that tells you among those 2,000 views, a lot of these guys are watching.
That's what all of them did. I've been saying that for the longest time. A lot of views niggas be getting, they be bloggers, man. Trying to nitpick and steal information and shit without giving credit. Well, they don't give me credit. But, yeah, I agree.
They watching. If y'all watching, y'all see this, let me see y'all do some, let me see some work. Is anybody gonna go to Pacer and try to verify any of this information? Or are y'all going to just sit back and take the cop calling Crip's word for it and his little echo, King AK, y'all gonna take their word for it?
And them niggas still friends too, y'all. Don't let them fool y'all to make you think they beefing. Them niggas still friends. They playing the internet game. AK-47 just had to disassociate itself from Seti Nash so he can uphold his street image. But them niggas still friends. They still talking behind closed doors. That's why they echo the same message.
Because King AK said if Shiesty didn't get evicted, he's going to quit YouTube. Are we going to hold him to that? Because I don't see any paperwork at all. And of course, as y'all see, there has to be paperwork. If they releasing you to home confinement, or if they taking you off home confinement, any of that stuff requires paperwork. That's why I showed y'all that in the beginning of the video. Are we gonna hold him to that? I personally don't. You know, I don't want to see AK delete his channel and all that, but y'all gotta stop this capping, bro. And AK's biggest problem is he is too loyal to Seti. Seti is his friend. Seti come up with all these weird ideas, and then he called AK and tell him, man, this is what we finna do, this is what we gonna do. And AK just be over there trying to figure out how to get some money, and he go along with it. But at what point do we, because this influences the youth as much as the rap does. A rapper can rap anything. But then when you got these bloggers out here saying, oh yeah, they ran in and they closed the door and they did this. You making these shorties think that these rappers are really doing this type of stuff. You just told the world Shiesty didn't learn anything from going to jail. He went to jail Shiesty and came home still Shiesty. That's what you just told the whole world. So these shorties are thinking that's the mentality that they gotta have. They not trying to learn nothing. They not trying to better themselves. They go in there and go through hell. Go in there and go through. Believe it or not, bro, these dudes do not be having it sweet in prison.
Yo, Pooh Shiesty ain't stupid like that, yo. That nigga got way too many people around, yo, to allow him to do something that fucking stupid. You gonna get locked up for robbery, yo, come home, still in custody and commit another robbery? Man, fuck out of here, man. Pooh Shiesty a clown. Because he participated in this shit. Because if he didn't, he'd have been came out and said, yo, y'all niggas lying. He hasn't done it. which let you know that he participates. He on some clown ass shit. He's a fucking clown. From now on, anytime Pooh Shiesty name come up on Keep It G News, it's gonna be coming up in the form of him being a clown. I don't like that shit. Fuck you lying for, man. Nigga, put out good music, nigga. You ain't gotta play this dumbass internet game. Built off lies and manipulation. It's a bitch for that. In my opinion. Yo, I just pulled up to this car. Yo, make sure I share this live. Like I said, I told y'all with Nicki Minaj why she aligned herself with the Republican Party. Partly, it was because of her situation with Jay-Z and Rock Nation. And if you go to her Twitter, you'll see what I'm talking about, and you'll see that it was real. Because Rock Nation is aligned with the Democrats, and I think she thought that she needed help with whatever they doing to her behind closed doors. But fuck is this car? I don't even know what kind of car this is. 31 miles. Silver Kia Sorento. I can't see this bitch. Alright, let me figure this out. Make sure I hit the like button. Guys, turn if you're new. Never did Keep It News.